The following podcast is fan-made and in no way associated with Steam, Valve Corporation, or your mother. Also, it contains highly explicit language, so get the fuck out if you don't want to hear it.
It's time for another exciting episode of the Late Night Steamer Podcast. This is episode 3, recorded on March 24th of 2012. I am Viper. With me, as always, is DJ Pimp Daddy.
Hello, everybody.
And the ever-so-awesome Linux for Life.
Hello, everybody.
Nice.
Awesome intro.
Yeah. I'm reaching out to more foreign audiences by doing that. That's what it is. Oh my god, don't mind me. I just had a large meal, so right now I'm just kind of like resting in my seat like, after this I want to take a nap.
You're uncomfortable is what you're saying.
Yeah, a little bit.
Remember, what goes in comes out.
So what have you guys been up to this week?
Oh man, it's been a long week. I mean, work-wise, I've just been swamped, but I have been, in my few spare moments, I've been playing Skyrim on Steam, and I got to the point where like somehow I missed an achievement that I should have gotten, and it's been driving me nuts. So I've been trying to, I'm like, just the OCD kicked in. I'm like, I should have got that achievement. So now I'm nice. Like, I've been tossing around like, you know, sort of breaking the game by using the command line to try to get the achievement. I'm like seriously 24 hours into the game, and I'm like, I don't want to break my save game. That would just devastate me at this point. But I do have to admit something about the Steam stuff. I have started using the Steam Workshop to mod it, and I am loving that. I've added so much extra features to the game that just I could not have gotten anywhere else. So I'm really glad that I crossed over to Steam instead of playing this on PlayStation. So
nice.
Oh yeah, I mean that's obviously one of the big benefits of playing Skyrim, not just on PC but on Steam as well, is the access to the Steam Workshop. I find it funny though that you mentioned the whole command line thing, because just this week I saw a video about Skyrim on PC. Have you seen the one where this guy kind of tricked his camera to make it look like Lydia was giving him a handjob?
Yeah, I have seen that.
I saw that. I was like, how much of a loser must you be to figure that out?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think we should have that guy as a guest host. I'm just saying.
I think we should too, actually. We need to find this guy and question him upon. So how poor is your sex life for you to determine that this was a fantastic idea for you to do?
Yeah. I remember saying that, and I laughed my butt. I think it's on my YouTube favorite list, so it's because I'm just like, wow, that's just so terrible. It's funny.
What about you, Linux?
This week I worked another 80-hour week. It's always fun. Got one more of those weeks left, and they'll be the end of the 80-hour weeks.
It hurts.
Yeah. I've also taken on a new role on our Minecraft server. I'm a plugin admin.
Yay!
And that has eaten more of my life than I care to admit already.
Why do you think Brad's about to go crazy?
Plugin admin. Basically, that is what I like to call server crash Patsy.
Yeah.
And of course, right when you think you finish one thing, they come out with an update, and Bucket has to update.
You have to
and
start
so it starts all over again.
Yeah, I'm running into that issue myself. Everyone's asking me, hey, so when are we updating to 1.2.4? And I'm like, don't worry about it.
You're like, oh, that's nice. Shut the fuck up!
Then, we're trying to improve our server and add some extra features. So then you find out you need to use this plugin for that feature. Unfortunately, it doesn't support this, that, and this. So you got to change everything around. It's good. It's going to be a fun couple weeks.
Oh, I can imagine. I beat Mass Effect 3.
Yeah.
And
nice.
I should be happy about it, but all these people that have been trashing the ending of Mass Effect 3, I wanted to believe they were wrong. I really, really did. I wanted to so bad. I'm such a Mass Effect fanboy that I was just like, please, God, these kids don't know what they're talking about, right? Come on.
And it really was that bad.
I had the ending happen, and just afterwards, I just sat there, and the only thing that can come to mind is, what the fuck was that? What is this? What? I was so flabbergasted as to how terrible and nonsensical the ending was that I couldn't believe it. I was like, this cannot be right. The only logical explanation that I can think of is that they're opening up the ending to interpretation through DLC. And if that is the case, honestly, that is terrible. That's a terrible idea to force an ending to be extended through downloadable content. I'm really, in one way right now, I'm kind of hoping that's the case because it's so odd and weird that it really needs some explanation. So outside of that, yeah, I was sick, so I didn't get a chance to do a lot of anything else. In fact, I spent less time on Steam than my Steam rating is now 0.2. Which is pretty much like useless at that point.
I guess I forgot to mention something. So we're on the subject. This week, my wife finally came up to me and she's like, "What is all this stuff we're buying on Steam?" And I looked at our bills. I'm like, "Oh my god!" It's like, yeah, I've spent a lot of money. So last Tuesday, I was just like, "Okay, I got to stop looking at the daily deals." I finally put my foot down. I'm like, I've only been on Steam like 2 months. I think I've spent like $300 or something. I'm like, yeah, it's a little out of control.
Yeah, I mean, my one friend, Zai, he bought some of the actual like franchise collections during the holiday sale, and he told me he spent almost about $500.
But man, does he got some games to play.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I think his list has actually surpassed mine at this point.
Oh wow.
Alright, so let's move on to the steaming pile of news. We actually have one here with a demo, which is very rare these days, unfortunately. Waveform, which is a kind of a action puzzle game where you use your mouse to adjust your little fighter as it's collecting and kind of staying within this waveform. It's a very colorful game, and it's cheap, obviously. It's on sale right now for $5.95, and it's so... I don't know. It looks like it's one of those games where you can have fun with it for about 2-3 minutes, and then afterwards you're like, I paid money for this?
Yeah. When I was looking at it, it looked extremely gimmicky. You know what I mean? So I'm just like,
yeah.
I don't know. I think I did put in there, though, that did I put these bullet points on the wrong thing? I think I did.
I think you did too, because I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, ignore that part.
There's no room for exploding.
Yeah, there's no exploding kittens in this. I swear I must have put that on the wrong one. Sorry about that. Anyways, I watched the video for it without even getting the demo, and it just is a gimmick. I'm just like, it just didn't look fun. I mean, even after watching a 2-minute demo video or play video, where it's supposed to be the exciting parts, I was just like, eh. So,
yeah, I mean, the concept looks okay, but it looks like something that should be the mini game of a game. It shouldn't be its standalone. That's not the problem for me.
That is true.
But nonetheless, they get extra points for actually having a demo. So check it out. See if it's something you like. It's not terribly expensive. So by all means, you can always check it out. And if you do like it, awesome. But
yes.
This will be one that I'll be passing up personally. Now for the games without demos, and therefore they do not get as many cool points. I don't know how the hell I'm going to pronounce this. Wise? Yes?
It's called Wise.
Wise, okay.
Yeah, I think it's the whole series has been called Wise.
Fantastic. Wise Oath in Felghana? Okay.
I'll take over for this since I pasted it here. Basically, This is it's a 3D reimagining of Wise 3, Wanderers from Wise. So if you've been a fan of the Wise series, which I swear I think it goes back to the Genesis days, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I do remember those games back in the Genesis days.
Yeah, they took Wise 3 and then redid it. Now it's like an action role-playing game versus just a menu-based role-playing game. And when I was watching the demo video of this, it sort of looked interesting, but it's like if you're a diehard Wise fan from back in the day, where you're used to menu based timed attacks and stuff, this might be a little bit too much for you, because it really is like real time action where you're jumping and swinging swords and stuff's flying everywhere. It almost sort of reminded me like the crazy action that you see on like Terraria these days, where it's just it sort of gets nuts and there's stuff flying everywhere. So I don't know.
So, my thing's doing that crap again. So essentially, it's a reimagination of an old game. Try to turn it into like kind of a modern title of sorts.
Correct.
Fantastic. Moving on from that, there was also Mutant Storm Reloaded. Now, this is a game that me and my wife played on the 360, actually, and they ported it over to PC, which I thought was pretty cool. Mutant Storm is basically kind of like a Robotron-esque game, if anyone knows what the hell Robotron is. I really will be impressed if you do. But it's one of those top-down shooters where you use one of your joysticks to move, the other joystick to shoot in a general direction. It's fantastic because it has co-op, so you can get a buddy to play with you. And the graphics are so-so. They're not too bad. Very colorful, but it's very addicting. And because the gameplay is basic and there's a lot of action, me and my wife played the game for hours and hours, and my wife's not a huge gamer, so if she can get into it, it's pretty fun.
Awesome.
Right now, it's 20% off, and it's only $3.99, and I definitely feel it's a good purchase. So check it out. I think you'll enjoy it.
Sweet.
Warp. This I don't know much about this, so I'm going to kind of read off the review here, or the description. Warp is a strategic stealth action puzzle where gamers play as Zero, a lovable yet lethal little orange alien with a big score to settle. Abducted by the villainous general from his homeworld and taken to an underwater research facility, Zero must plan his ultimate escape by relying on his arsenal of special abilities. What a description.
Yeah, there is no video for this, but when you look at the screenshots, I swear it almost looks like they took that high-tech robot out of the movie WALL-E. What was her name? Eve. It looks like they took that robot and put her into some sort of like a portal environment where everything wants to kill you. I'm just like, and it's like, oh, you got this cute little robot, and things are trying to kill you. And I'm like, sweet, like it. The screenshots look promising, but God, there's no video of it. So you're just like, I don't know. But I mean, the price isn't too bad. And one thing to note is it is actually getting excellent reviews from major gaming, publication sites like 1UP and a bunch of other ones. So, but it is a mature title, so it's right up our alley, I guess.
I'll have to see why it got a mature title. I'm kind of interested now. Is there a robot sex scene in there?
I think so. She opens up the front of her can and...
Okay, hold on. I'm downloading it right now.
And if you see a video of the robot standing over you, moving her hand up and down...
I'm gonna nickname her Lydia. Anyway, Total War Shogun 2: Fall of the Samurai. If you've been following the Total War series, specifically the Shogun series within it, this is a standalone expansion to the award-winning Total War. It explores the conflict between the Imperial throne and the last shogunate in 19th century Japan. Total War has always been a very interesting franchise. I haven't played the Shogun series of it, but I can't imagine it being good. I don't know. I have a hard time with anything that really focuses on samurai too much. Something about it. I've yet to play a game that's really good with samurais. And maybe I'm the only one on this.
Well, you'll be happy to know that I put down here, after you watch the demo video, it looks like they copied the plot of the movie The Last Samurai, just took out Tom Cruise. So it sounds like they just kill the samurai in this. So, I mean, maybe this is your game finally. You'll be like, hey, look, samurai! And then you just Gatling gun them down.
Well, I know, like, Steam had it on sale, the Shogun series recently, and I was actually debating on buying it, but I'm like, money could be spent on so many other things, like food.
Like, not this game.
This game, every time I see the name of this, I always think of that one song, Yesterday. All my troubles seem so far away. Anyway.
It's ironic you bring up Yesterday.
I don't know a whole hell of a lot about this game, other than the cover art looks fabulous.
We're talking about Yesterday, not Total War.
Yes, Yesterday. The description on it says that after captivating players from all around the world with the mythic Runaway trilogy, Pendulo Studios, presents a new adventure gaming masterpiece. That's not egotistical in the slightest.
It's so just mythic and masterpiece that nobody's ever heard of it.
Yeah, seriously. This thrilling mystery presenting a unique, dark, and somber style will not leave you indifferent. What?
They read our minds.
What?
They read our minds. I'm telling you, because it's like, man, I'm so indifferent. No, this will not leave you indifferent.
Who writes this stuff? Who writes this?
I think it's a PR person that's trying to justify their job. You know? That's seriously it.
Gotta be. All right. Well, anyway, Yesterday throws you into an unforgettable adventure from which you will not emerge unscathed. New York in 2011. Homeless people are disappearing one after another. Their bodies found lifeless. Problem? Anyway, meanwhile, a Y-shaped scar appears on the hands of seemingly unrelated people. Henry White, a young and rich heir dedicated to the charitable organization, and his friend Cooper are the first to investigate. They will soon cross paths with the enigmatic John Yesterday. That's his last name? What? What?
Well, with a name like John, you'd have to have a last name like Yesterday.
Apparently. They will whose memory seems to have been wiped clear, and who will find himself dragged into this incredible story. Self-proclaimed incredible story, mind you. How far will you go to discover John, or who John really is, and what he did yesterday?
I'm telling you, dude, they're just going to wake up. You know, there's going to be a baby, a tiger in the bathroom, and one of them's going to have a tattoo.
This unforgettable title is only the very low price of $29.99.
Well, it says right there in the bullet point, it will not leave you indifferent. So,
or unscathed.
I had to put that whole thing in there because I'm just like, this is so ridiculous. I can't wait till Scott reads this.
I skipped a couple lines just because I couldn't do it. I just couldn't. We've been trying our best not to read all of the descriptions on these new games, but yesterday stood out from the rest, if you will.
Does anybody on our channel want to discuss any of these games? That's too funny. I guess not. Okay, we're going to move on to You Cheap Bastard! Basically, for you cheap bastards, this entire weekend is Square Enix weekend.
What?
They are selling all the Square Enix PC titles except Final Fantasy.
That's a lie.
I put except Final Fantasy, you jerks. However, they are selling Final Fantasy 11 if you want to.
I know plenty of people who are still playing that because Final Fantasy 14 was so terrible that, that they revolted and went back to 11. So
really?
I do actually know a lot of people that still play Final Fantasy 11.
That's funny. I'm just like, I remember watching my little brother play it. I'm like, wow, this is bad.
If you like games where you're at least, self-sufficient, yeah, you're going to hate Final Fantasy 11. You cannot be self-sufficient in that game. You require other people to help you out. It's kind of sad.
Okay. Well, anyways, I took some notes and I went down through their genres that they've been selling, and these are all on sale this weekend. So you have the Hitman series, the Deus Ex series, the Just Cause, Thief, the Tomb Raiders, Dungeon Siege, Kane and Lynch, Last Remnants, Mini Ninjas, Final Fantasy 11, and Scott is happy to know that Flora's Fruit Farm is on sale for $5.99 this entire weekend. You could finally buy it.
Hey, you're lucky I'm even doing this podcast right now. Flora is calling me, man.
I know.
Flora's calling me.
Well, after the ending of Mass Effect 3, everyone should go play Flora's Fruit Farm.
Really? I think it's a good way to release the stress of the WTF moment you just had.
Yeah, for sure.
I actually, they had the, they're doing their weekend deals where they're even slashing the prices further, and I think the Tomb Raider series was on Friday. I actually went ahead and I bought all of those because it doesn't include the first one, which absolutely sucked, but Underworld and Anniversary was actually not too bad. I think Anniversary was a remake of the first one, though. But no, those are fun games. I even got the one that's actually a overhead platformer because I thought the idea was pretty cool. That has like cooperative play on it. I can't remember. I think it's Guardians of Light. I think it's called.
Yeah, I think I've never actually really been a fan of the Tomb Raider stuff. I think it's just because I got into PlayStation very late, so I sort of missed that whole section. And then, of course, at the time, I wasn't doing any PC gaming. So maybe I should go back and check those out, especially if they're on sale.
Yeah. The early games, they were tough, especially because I think with the graphics limitations of the time, it was really hard to tell if that was normal sand or if that was quicksand. And then you would run over it and go, what? How am I supposed to know? What the fuck is this?
Yeah, the only one I really saw in here, because when I saw, hey, Square Enix Weekend, I'm like, yes, because I'm an RPG nerd, so I'm just like, I can finally buy Last Remnant, because that was like the only one that really stood out on my list. But and it totally looks like Final Fantasy, enter any number here, higher than 8, and but just not as crazy. So I'm like, that's probably the only one I might pick up on this entire list. So, has anyone enjoyed the Kane and Lynch stuff? Because
no.
I hear a lot about it, but I've never played it as well. So
I have a friend, my buddy Joe. He's in my biomimic band with me. He swears by the Kane and Lynch series. He loves it. But I swear to God, I think he's also an alien, too, because I've not met a single person that goes, oh my God, Kane and Lynch is awesome. Oh.
Exactly. Okay, well, Square Enix. Get your Square Enix on. Guess we'll move along, Linux.
All right. Late to Steam. DJ has put Toe Jam and Earl. I'm pretty sure somebody already did this one.
But now it's the late to the Steam, so I finally picked it up.
Yeah, that was the one that came out last week because I purchased it right away. I'm like, buy it.
Yeah.
I only bought that because you gushed about it, so...
Mm-hmm. And you like it, don't you?
If it sucks, I'm just going to be making Mass Effect 3 jokes forever.
Well, I'll have you know, the ending to Toe Jam and Earl is a lot better than Mass Effect 3.
Touché, Mr. Viper.
I have Star Wars Jedi Knight Dark Force 2.
A long title.
Excellent pick, by the way.
And has Project Snowblind.
Yeah, that was also on the Square Enix sale, and I was able to pick that up. I played the hell out of that back on PS2, and when I saw that was on sale, I was like, mine!
I have no idea what that even is. What is that?
It's a first-person shooter. If you're familiar with the Deus Ex series, it's a little similar to that, but a lot more action-oriented. It was one of the few games that actually kind of tried to give you certain powers as well as being able to shoot a gun in a first-person shooter game.
Okay.
You're able to erect shields in front of you to kind of use as cover. You have certain drones that you can control. It's really cool, actually. But to keep in mind, though, if you do actually get the game, because it is relatively old, there is some compatibility issues with current PCs. So if it kind of randomly crashes on you, it will happen, unfortunately.
Might need to bust out the old Windows XP laptop, is what you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much.
And even then, that's a stretch.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh my god, dude. I remember the first time I fired up Warcraft 3, or I'm sorry, Warcraft 2 on my Windows 7 machine, and it just went,
ah! Oh man.
It's just like,
Warcraft 3.
DOS!
Yeah, Warcraft 3 did the same thing to me. I loaded that up not too long ago, and it was just like, what is all of this new machinery?
You look on the specs of the box, it says Windows 95, and you're just like, oh, this is going to run great.
Yeah. Everything is pretty much software emulation at that point and runs like ass.
There's no Windows 95 in my compatibility mode. It's a little odd that, I mean, I guess at some point, a lot of these old games are going to have issues as far as playing them off of Steam. I mean, maybe we could discuss that as a discussion some week, comparing it to other services that sort of, I guess, compile them differently or something. So, okay. Do we have anything else to add to this section, I guess? Nothing. We are mute. Okay. Linux, you want to read the Shady Earl of the Week?
Alright, so this week I did www.google.com. It's given us 5z8.info / get personal data -start _ AOZ7RO _ Dixon Parade.
Dicks on Parade. Oh, snap.
I don't know what to say to that. I'm going to copy and paste this into the channel. There we go. Dicks on Parade, everybody. Do you find it a little terrifying that Google comes up with get personal data?
Yeah, that's pretty good. It's like they're telling us something.
Google knows everything.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, no good.
They knew the ending of Mass Effect 3. Okay. Our Steam discussion this week is, does bundle deals or midweek/weekend deals make you buy games you wouldn't ordinarily buy?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, that was a good discussion.
I can't tell you how many games I've purchased over time. Well, I mean, you can actually look at my account and find.
Yeah,
the friends I recently bought. It's all Scott Piper.
Exactly.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I had an intervention, and I've accepted my, the fact that I bought a lot of games, and I've stopped.
You don't stop. It just gets prolonged. It doesn't stop.
Now everything's on my wish list.
But no, I can't tell you how many times I've gotten games either through bundles or because they were insanely cheap, like $250, that I purchased, and they're either sitting on my account waiting to be touched, or I maybe played it for a couple minutes. I'm like, oh, I'll come back to this. There's just so many games that you can get like dirt cheap, and Steam is so good about basically going, okay, it's only $250. Come on, don't you want it? It's pretty. Get it.
Like currently, today's deal is the Fallout collection.
Yeah,
Fallout 2 and Fallout Tactics.
I just opened up the Steam page, and this is the first thing I saw, and I'm like, that's on my wish list.
And when I looked at friends recently bought, Scott Viper has bought the pack.
I don't know what you're talking about. Dude, I was so into Fallout back in the day, so I didn't even know that they were available on Steam, so when I saw that it was on sale, I was like, yoink!
Yeah, it's probably something I'll actually pick up.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Good stuff.
Why did I sign in and see this?
Just hide it from your wife.
Consult a banker.
They hate us.
See, what you're supposed to do is you pay with PayPal so it doesn't show up on your credit card bill as Steam.
You just do it on a credit card that they don't have access to.
Yeah, when you're married, good luck with that.
Yeah, exactly.
I am.
Okay, I need to stop looking at this. I'll just start buying things. Let's see. We got we have one person in our channel. Everybody else went to bed. Well, I don't know. I definitely think if Steam started selling crack, we would all be hooked, because they just have this way of just sort of teasing you into buying, especially like this Fallout bundle. This is a gleaming example right here. Mm-hmm. You see right here on the show, I'm just like, I gotta buy that. So.
It's funny too, because of this whole thing. There's a guy that comes from the Minecraft podcast I do named Hinkers. He's kind of like in. What was the best way to put it? We're in a competition right now to see how many games that we can own, and whoever owns the most games. And right now, I'm beating him by about a good 100, but. He's desperately trying to catch up to me, and he's using these deals in order to get to that point. I want to say, though, that I'm not that bad. I'm not buying games to add to my number. I buy these games because I actually do have some interest to play them. Yeah, I've never bought a game that I basically bought just to up my game count. So,
yeah,
like MySpace.
As a Nintendo collector, I definitely have a just metric ton of Nintendo games that I have absolutely no intention of ever playing. But yeah, everything outside of that, I'm the same way. I just don't buy just to buy them.
I did that for a little while with my Virtual Boy. Like, I almost have the entire collection. I think the only game I'm missing right now is Underworld. Or not Underworld, Waterworld.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking of. But, like, I'm the same way. I got all these Virtual Boy games, and I haven't even touched them. I think I just wanted to have the whole collection so I can sit there and go, yep, remember that game system nobody liked? I got it.
But, those are worth a lot of money now. That's almost that is an investment right there. So, I just realized that we didn't have a next week discussion.
Well, we can kind of talk about, we were kind of discussing a little bit with Project Snowblind about compatibility issues, because if you believe it or not, there is actually several games that are on Steam's catalog that aren't completely compatible with newer systems. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines is one of them. You actually have to get a fan-made patch and patch the game yourself outside of Steam for it to be playable on modern systems.
Okay.
So
we'll formulate this into a question, and we'll give it out right here.
Well, let's put it this way. Do you think it's right for a modern digital delivery system to sell games that might not be compatible with newer systems without tweaking outside of it.
Okay. I'll type this down.
And just now all three of us own the Fallout collection.
Woot.
Yeah, my purchase. I just got my receipt.
Yeah, I just did too.
Oh, that's awesome. Live podcast purchasing. Steam is so powerful, we can't wait until after the podcast to make our purchases. Yes.
I'll tell you what, the daily deals, they do a great job at either making the bundle worth it or making the price low enough so it's worth it.
Hey, my wish list just went down by 2.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, like, and they don't even really like advertise them like crazy. It's this little tiny square in the front page. It doesn't even like throw it in your face unless it's a really good deal. And it's crazy how that little square can make you go, "Oh, mine."
Yes, that is so true.
Come on, purchase faster.
This was the easiest discussion we've ever had.
Yeah, there was like no conflict whatsoever.
No.
Does anybody want to give a countering opinion? Anybody at all? It's just crickets.
Oh man.
Well, that'll be a good discussion next week, I guess. Do we have anything else to add? Anybody?
I'm limp.
Nah. Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe next week we'll try to get a fourth guest. Scott, you got to get some of your interesting characters that you've come across. You probably you know some good ones we could bring on.
I know crazy people. That's what it boils down to. You don't have an explicit podcast without meeting a bunch of fucking psychos. So yeah, no problem. I'll see what I can ring up. But definitely, I'm making it a mission this week to whore out this podcast. I'm going to revamp the forums. I'm going to start looking for Steam forums and just start freaking whoring us out hardcore. Nice. So we will definitely do the best we can to get the channel a little more popping and get lots more craziness going.
Well, I don't know if you heard it, but Linux made us an awesome outro with music, so we'll play that in a few seconds. But
nice.
I guess if we don't have anything else to say, I guess everybody have a good week and keep on buying some Steam.
Well, we haven't done the outro yet. Probably should do that.
One of these days. Oh no, that's part of the outro that he recorded.
Yeah.
Did he not send that to you?
No, I didn't.
No, I didn't see that
too.
Oh, so wait, I don't have to do the outro.
All you have to say is just goodbye, and then we got it from there.
Sweet, peace, bitches.
Later, fuck faces.
See you next week.
That's all, folks, for tonight. Thank you for listening to Late Night Steamer. You can find us at www.latenightsteamer.com. You can find us over on Mumble at latenightsteamer.typefrag.com, where every show is recorded live. You can follow us on Twitter at LNSteamer, at DJ Pimp Daddy, at Early Films, and at Scott Viper. You can find our Minecraft shit at www.thisweekinminecraft.com, as well as www.lethalinjectionpodcast.com.